Good morning and welcome back to my channel. So I should be in the beginning, say about now, be posting my reviews on both the channels. The original channel, which is Karamullah Kadwani, into which a lot of people are already kind of logging in, and thank you for your support and viewership. Highly appreciated. I am trying to kind of improve on the video quality and the kind of the setup that I want to do for my future reviews. I will keep changing kind of not locations. The location is my house, just basically maybe the props or the chair on which I sit and do these reviews, the angles, maybe the zoom kind of a thing to get most out of and keep you engaged in a way. I don't want these reviews to be daft, bland, and boring. I should learn along the curve and probably do these reviews at a faster pace, but it's just my style of doing the reviews. These are going to be long formats. It's not going to be a short video by any mean, but it's going to be informative, and hopefully along the curve I should learn with you, which I'm interested in very much. The perfume that I would be reviewing today is from the house of Boadicea, the Victorious, and the name of the perfume is Tobacco Sapphire. So you would have probably noticed that I am trying to get most of the tobacco fragrances, the reviews done before I move on to the other genres. Example, maybe ambers, boozy kind of fragrances. I do not have many gourmands, and I do not like very sweet fragrances. That's just not my style. I shall be kind of panning out. I do like the kind of the angle we are at right now, the clarity that I have with you. I should be showing you a few things across my table, and the context in which I want to show you these other perfumes that I have on my table today. I did want a close-up while we're talking, so I can be more engaged with you in a way. And so the perfume that we're going to be reviewing today, like I said, is Tobacco Sapphire from the house of Boadicea, the Victorious. The release date for this perfume was summer of 2022, an year after Tobacco Mandarin, a perfume that we just spoke about yesterday. The reason why I'm doing this today is because it does remind me of Tobacco Mandarin. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before, but Boadicea, the Victorious, is a house that's very regal, opulent, and luxurious, and they do take kind of fragrances that have a kind of a niche. They have a market, and they further kind of I wouldn't say improve, but they kind of it's their versions of the perfumes that they do. Like, say for example, Frederic Malle the Night, they've done Nebulous, which is the flagship, I think I must say, for the house of Boadicea, and retails about 7,000 dirhams, which is quite pricey. Not to mention the Night itself is not a very less expensive proposition. It retails for about 5,695, 100 mil. They're both worth the price tag. Nevertheless, so this retails for about 695 US dollars. Prices are increasing. They all the houses are basically increasing their price tags. Dior just increased theirs to about 1,750 from 1,560. Chanel, I don't remember the earlier price, but I think it's 200 mil of Chanel less exclusives retails for about 1,800 as compared to 1,650 earlier. That's a 200 mil. So for Boadicea, the Victorious Tobacco Sapphire, there were no testers made available. So you cannot purchase a tester, you cannot get samples. The only way I'd suggest is, I don't know how how these niche houses like Boadicea the Victorious operate in other parts of the world, but in the United Arab Emirates you would have a sole distributor, I might call it, and you can probably go there and try out these fragrances before you purchase them, because they come at a heavy price. Blind buy is not suggested, again, as we always say on this channel, though I have blind bought a lot of fragrances, few hits, few misses here and there, and I still haven't learned my lesson, but I still try to I fall for the notes basically. So this basically reminds me of a perfume that was launched by the house of Amouage. The creator for that fragrance was Cecile Zerokin, and the name of the perfume was Royal Tobacco, which I blind bought, absolutely blind bought that perfume, but I loved that perfume. So what happened with the house of Amouage Royal Tobacco from the Opus Library collection was that they released samples that could be purchased from their website. They pulled the samples off, and there was a big hype around that fragrance, and they did not exactly get where they wanted to be with the sales figures, and so they bought back the samples. But the samples itself, I think it's about a 2.5 ml sample that retails for about 50 USD. I think 50 USD, I'm not sure. But again, it's a pricey proposition, even the samples. The best way to do sample or kind of try these fragrances is to go to the places that retail these fragrances and look for testers and try them out. Do try them out on the skin, as most of these perfumes have better, it will give you a better idea on skin rather than the test strips. Let me read you a little blurb about Boadicea the Victorious, the fragrance house, kind of an overview of the fragrance house. Boadicea the Victorious is an independent British fragrance brand, taking a defining moment in history as their inspiration. They have created a range of gender-neutral perfumes that are quintessentially British and of incomparable quality. That I can vouch for, that's true. Each one of these iconic bottles has been handcrafted by some of the Britain's finest artisans and illuminates how the brand champions British heritage and values. A fusion of tradition, heritage, and timeless classic luxury, Boadicea the Victorious is the ultimate celebration of beauty, strength, and nobility. That's a note from the brand itself. Boadicea the Victorious has 173 perfumes in their fragrance base. Boadicea the Victorious is a new fragrance brand. Not really, it's been around since 2008. And the newest release from the house of Boadicea the Victorious is as recent as 2024. Boadicea the Victorious fragrances were made in collaboration with perfumers Christian Provenzano and John Stephen. So they are the in-house perfumers for the brand, and the other fragrances that I have on display here, which I shall be zooming out in a bit to show you perfumes from the house of Christian Provenzano. They come in this luxurious, not a lacquered box exactly, but they come in these luxurious boxes in which the fragrances are housed, which you shall see in a while. That's Christian Provenzano has his own line of fragrances, and they come in black and sapphire green bottles. The sapphire green bottles are slightly pricier than the regular black bottles. The quality of the black bottles is terrible. They fall apart, the perfume atomizes, there's just a misery. But the green bottle are the same perfumes in extrait format, slightly pricier, but the presentation is next to none. So they come in this luxurious box that kind of opens, so you have a seal, a gold seal that says Christian Provenzano, the name of the fragrance you're getting into. There are 4 fragrances that I had earlier purchased when these were released, namely Cuir Elite. It's a leather fragrance, as the name suggests, Amber Dior. I'm sorry if my pronunciation is not on point because my French is not on point. There is Patchouli Noir. I like patchouli, I like amber, I like leather. And the last but not least, the last fragrance that I have purchased from this house is Oud Al Faid. And Oud Al Faid is basically a rose oud perfume. Very Middle Eastern. I like rose oud. I like the combination of rose oud when done properly. And I guess these fragrances have a place in my heart. Christian Provenzano is one of the master perfumers and is an in-house perfumer for the house of Boadicea the Victorious. I have still not come off my cold and I will be excusing myself time to time because I still have this kind of cold running in the background. Anyways, so let's discuss the notes and what these notes would bring to the fragrance. The top notes are cumin. You'll see some similarities to tobacco mandarin from the house of Byredo, which we discussed yesterday, but there's a lot more complexity and it's a more luxurious, more opulent take on tobacco mandarin by the house of Boadicea the Victorious. It's much musky, which Byredo did not have. This has a musk accord. I don't think they're using the real musk. Most of the houses, even for the last probably century, hasn't been using real musk, except for a few of the niche artisan perfume houses. A few that I can name is Arij, Ladore. There is Bortnikov, and I just made friends with Dmitry Bortnikov. Shout out to him. Excellent brand, excellent perfumes. Real musk, real oud, real civet tinctures, real castoreum, the real deal basically. So these are houses in the niche artisan space and they use the real ingredients. Here I think it's mostly not real musk as such, but still it does have its slight animalic nuances and the musk is pretty prominent throughout the fragrance. So I might not touch base on that again, but that's just to give you a spoiler in the beginning of the review. It's musky and I do like my musks. So the top notes are cumin, as we discussed yesterday. Cumin is a unique spice due to its animalic like note, which imparts sensual, strong and persistent aroma to fragrance compositions, while the odor can sometimes resemble sweat. Animal notes in perfumery are highly useful for their capacity to fix other components and enhance their scents. Coriander, another similar note in tobacco mandarin. In perfumery, the essential oils from Coriandrum sativum, seeds known as coriander oil, and leaves known as cilantro oil are commonly used as a spicy, risque and stimulating note for fragrances. Coriander essential oil has a spicy, herbal and oriental scent with an earthy character and a conspicuous terpenic note to it. Saffron, which was not in tobacco mandarin. Scent of saffron is a dark, leathery, spicy note with tart effects and a hint of honey. A scent often found in perfumes for men, but sometimes also in fragrances for women. It is a striking, assertive scent, rather a base note. It often accompanies woody fragrances worked with woody notes of oud wood, very common in Middle Eastern perfumes. And so you do have these notes in tobacco sapphire. Incense, frankincense, olibanum in perfume. Incense can be used to add depth and complexity to the fragrance. It is frequently employed as a base note, which means it has a strong, long-lasting presence in the fragrance and helps to anchor the other notes. Incense scents can be woody, spicy, or resinous and add a warm, rich, and mysterious quality to the fragrance. The last of the top notes is mandarin orange. The essence of mandarin orange is extracted from the fruit's peel and it is widely used in perfumery to add a zesty and effervescent quality to the fragrances. The scent of mandarin orange is associated with freshness, energy, and a touch of warmth, making it an ideal choice for both women's and men's fragrances. we now get into the middle notes. As far as I remember, the review that we posted yesterday for tobacco mandarin from the house of Byredo, I think it had a total of 9 notes listed, and we're pretty much there in the top notes itself. Middle notes is rose, magnolia, heliotrope, hedione. So rose, the function of a rose note or a rose accord in perfumery is to provide a distinct and complex floral aroma that adds depth, richness and elegance to the fragrances. Rose is classified as a floral note and specially utilized as a heart or middle note, and here it is used as a middle note. Magnolia is an Asian flower renowned for its unique fragrance notes ranging from floral and romantic to lemon scented. Perfumers associate its sweet aroma with honey, while its fresh citrus-like varieties make it an ideal ingredient for the most mesmerizing of fragrances. Heliotrope is a South American plant with small purple flowers known for its sweet vanilla-like scent, used in perfumery as a middle note to add a sweet, creamy and almond-like quality. Heliotrope scent is sweet, powdery and slightly reminiscent of vanilla and almonds, making popular in oriental gourmand, floral and powdery fragrances. The last note, as we mentioned in the middle notes, is hedione. In perfume development, hedione serves as a modifier, amplifying and elevating the scent of other fragrance components. With its fresh, floral and slightly citrusy aroma, hedione is often used as a top note in perfumeries. Here it is used in the middle. Base notes of tobacco, patchouli, sandalwood, vanilla, benzoin, gaiac wood, lathanum, cedar and musk. So there's a lot going on, as we earlier mentioned, in this fragrance. Tobacco in perfumery has a distinctive and charismatic olfactory profile. Its olfactory family is often associated with leather, giving it an elegant, bewitching dimension. Tobacco olfactory notes often evoke a warm, complex blend of woody, spicy and smoky accords. The details that I'm sharing with you on the notes today are completely different from what we discussed yesterday. Not entirely different, the idea is still there, but it's redefining all the notes to help you understand better. Tobacco olfactory notes often evoke a warm, complex blend of woody, spicy and smoky accords. Patchouli, one of my favorite notes in perfumery, is a base note. In perfumes it is mostly used in amber, chypre and fougere fragrances. The scent of patchouli is intensely earthy, sweet, woodsy, herbaceous, musky and slightly medicinal. Due to its intense scent, even when diluted, a little patchouli oil goes a long way. It is also prized as an excellent fixative, an ingredient that extends the life of other perfume ingredients. Sandalwood is a warm, woody scent that is both sweet and spicy. It is often used as a base in perfumery. Sandalwood has a heavy molecular structure which makes it a slowly evaporating and tenacious base note. It is valued as a fixative ingredient. For other perfume ingredients, sandalwood can smell intense when used alone, but mellows out when combined with additional notes. Vanilla, the vanilla group itself spices odor profile and even popular fragrance note, known mostly through its synthetic variant vanillin, which is sweet, cozy, comforting with a pleasing cookie baking feeling to it. Alongside amber, the reference note for the oriental family of scents, the most famous classic being Shalimar. Guerlain does, by the way, I'm shifting again. Guerlain does the best vanilla fragrances, by the way. Shalimar happens to be one of them, and it's one of the reference fragrances from the house of Guerlain. Benzoin, a resin from the styrex tree, native to Southeast Asia, is prized for its sweet, vanilla-like and slightly spicy aroma. In perfumery, the resin note of benzoin brings a comforting, warm sweetness, often evoking nostalgic memories and a sense of soothing warmth. Gaiac wood, an excellent link between hard notes and the base notes. the woody balsamic facets of guaiac wood at depth with an air of smoky, leathery intrigue. Less dry than cedarwood and harder than sandalwood, guaiac wood is sweet and stable with rose-like facets. So that kind of accentuates the rose note that's come in the heart already. You'll see that a lot of notes play off to accentuate the other notes, and that kind of goes through the life of the fragrance. Cedar, the oil obtained from cedarwood is one of the oldest ingredients used in perfumery. Cedarwood has a distinctive woody, spicy, resinous scent that has been used as a base note of many famous perfumes. Pardon me, sorry. Cedarwood is also one of the most commonly used perfume notes, mentioned at least once in the fragrant opus of every perfumer. Musk, one of my top favorite notes in perfumery. Natural musk smells sensual, rich, and earthy. This scent is used as a base note in perfume and is often described as one of more animalistic and enticing base notes. So much for the notes. That was a mouthful. As I said, the house of Boadicea, the victorious, luxurious, opulent. The attire for this perfume, if you ask me, is dressed up. I don't think, although you could wear anything anywhere, and just about anyone can wear anything they like, they please, at any time of the day, at any place, situation. But its attire, if you ask me, is more dressed up. It's more appropriate for the fall, winter. It's a nighttime fragrance, longevity 12 plus hours. Forget it. If you spray this about 6 to 8 times, I usually do about 12 to 16 sprays. Forget it. The projection is massive. The sillage even long after you've left the building. Opens animalic like due to cumin, the sweaty animalic nuances, and coriander further accentuating that animalic feel with its woody like nuances similar to oud, but not over animalic with the coriander. Mandarin orange comes in as a balancer, so you have the warm woody animalic nuances balanced by the citrus and more of the green pea-like nuances rather than the fruity, juicy, pulpy kind of the mandarin orange. Similar to tobacco mandarin by the house of Barredo, as earlier mentioned, the top starts settling down after the first 15 to 20 minutes of spraying the fragrance, giving way to the spicy nuances with saffron and incense that comes in and overpowers the woody animalic opening. Don't let that throw you off though. It's pretty unusual for a perfume that starts that way to all of a sudden go into the rose and incense. But don't let that throw you off just yet, as you might be in for a surprise. The mid lasts a good 2 to 3 hours depending on your skin chemistry, weather constraints, time of the day, geographic location, etc. So it's a long fragrance, and that's why I usually try to create notes when as and when I get the time to. I try to live with the fragrance throughout the day. So again, my cold is getting to me. So like I said, I usually test drive my fragrances sitting on my recliner when I'm watching television for long hours, and I'll keep getting back to my skin, and that kind of shows how long each phase of the fragrance, how long it goes for, how the dry down is, how the transitions are, what do I finally get with the fragrance, was it worth the money, not, so on and so forth. I also like sleeping with my fragrances, and if I keep getting up to take a whiff of that fragrance and I get up in the morning falling in love with that fragrance, that is the one that I need to buy. Sometimes getting to like a fragrance can be a journey with more challenging, more animalic, more uncommon fragrances, niche houses. If you're going in from designers to niche, the transition you might need to employ different methods to try out the perfume and see how best you like it, or whether you can live with it or you don't, or you fall in love with it overnight. That's just my way of doing things. So, as mentioned, the mid lasts for a good 2 to 3 hours and depends on a lot of variables. So, the mid does not just throw you off guessing what will come next, but rather acts as a bridge between the opening and bass notes, which are pretty similar. You then experience a sweetness, powdery nuance credited to the heliotrope note. As we earlier discussed, the rose provides the consistency to the sweetness of the incense, acting like a continuum. This is by no means a juicy or jammy kind of an overload rose, rather a supporting act to the incense, kind of adds to the romance a bit. So we are already in the semi-dark territory of this beast, keeping the wearer engaged and guessing as to what will be coming next. The white florals linger gently, again balancing out the darkness from the incense. So I mentioned this earlier in one of my reviews, and I don't remember which one it was, but I do like fragrances that kind of balance out, that have a balancing act going on. So a note would not overshine or overtake the entire composition, and if it's going over animalic or over woodsy, over incensey, smoky, and then you have these ingredients that are used to perfection, where it kind of balances out, like say for example the white florals here gently linger gently, again balancing out the darkness from the incense. This is pretty much a DNA with much of the Sapphire range. For Boadicea the Victorious, the spicy woodiness and smokiness dominate the first 2 to 3 hours of this fragrance. However, you need to have spent some time in the niche space to enjoy the complexity of this fragrance. Very opulent, very regal. This then transitions to the final act, bringing tobacco and woody nuances back to the composition. The woody nuances here come from the use of gaiac wood. The base notes are drastically more intense, taking over the mid and last forever. 10 plus hours, if you ask me. Even lingers on to the next day. Tobacco here comes with just a slight hint of sweetness and accentuates the sweetness that comes from the use of vanilla. Patchouli provides an earthy-like quality that accentuates the note of tobacco. Ladanum adds to the woody olfactory experience. Benzoin gives body to this composition and can shine as suave as vanilla with a hint of cinnamon. The note of benzoin is very sensual. I'm sorry, maybe I messed that up. What I wanted to say was that benzoin gives body to the composition. Benzoin can be as suave as the note of vanilla, but with a slight hint of cinnamon. And the note of benzoin is sensual, if you ask me. The animalic nuances are amplified through the journey with the use of musk. You must like animalic fragrances to appreciate the sensuality of this one. In conclusion, I'd like to say this definitely is for the niche fragrance connoisseur who appreciates the note of tobacco. As seen in many other tobacco fragrances, they usually have a note that cuts through the dark, smoky, mysterious haze, but here tobacco pretty much dominates the dry down. A dream come true for tobacco lovers, if you ask me. Till the next time, your host Karamullah Kadwani signing out. Thank you very much for staying till the end. Hope to see you next time in another in-depth review of more legendary creations. Please do like, share and subscribe to support the channel, and hit the notifications bell to get updated when I do upload new videos in the coming future. God bless. Stay safe. Amen. Okay, so here I become small and Boadicea the Victorious, the box becomes big. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so you have Christian Provenzano, the extracts here. Let me try to pull a stunt in which I get my test strips. I do have test strips now. The channel has test strips. So these are 4 fragrances from the house of Christian Provenzano, and they come in outer boxes, outer sleeves that go into this. And as in when you open the box up, my lord, you have the bottle, and the bottles is like a green sapphire. I'm not sure if I'll be able to pull that out safely, so I'll try to pull out one of these. And that's how the bottle presentations are, and they're beautiful. They're adorned with these stones. It has a gold cap which is heavy as stone. You have the whole bottle presentation. You have green sapphire, kind of a color going on. I'm not sure if you can see this properly from the angle I'm at and from the distance I'm at, but these are the perfumes from the house of Christian Provenzano. So this house belongs to Christian Provenzano, and all the perfumes come with his name. Tobacco Sapphire comes in this luxurious sleeve. I do not know what material this is, but it's not a cheap plastic. It feels more rubbery and kind of more sturdy and luxurious than plastic. It comes in this beautiful orange color, which I do love. I paid a premium for this color for one of the cars I ordered back in the day in 2008, and had to pay about 35 over retail. That is not something that I suggest you to do. There's always foiling options, but I wanted that paint option. That's the box of Boadicea the Victorious. Again, luxurious, good feel to it. Everything is edged, all the details, the company kind of a logo, the name written here, Boadicea the Victorious. I do wish that the italics and everything continued to the name of the fragrance, but here they have it in block capital letters, and here they have it in italics. You need to open the perfume, and you need to be careful while opening the perfume because it's kind of sturdy. The box itself is kind of sturdy, and that's how the perfume is housed deep down into the base. The color of the bottle, the plaque is 24 karat gold plated, and so is the cap, and the shield, that's gold plated, 24 karat. I'm going to try to bring this into focus. I hope you can see it. The color for the bottle is quite apt for tobacco fragrance. So you take the cap off, so, and I shall get to the sprayer immediately, hopefully, once I have my test strips out. And that's a task in itself here. Sheesh. I'll try to edit as much as I can. And here we go. So I have a test strip that I can use. And that should be the sprayer. So that's the test strip and the sprayer. I hope you can see it quite. And actually, honestly speaking, that's just about the amount of spray that you need, unless you are an oversprayer like me. 6 to 8, give it a shot. If you're still not satisfied, another 6 to 8. I don't think that much is required for everyday perfume wearers, but if you love Middle Eastern fragrances, if you love them loud and oh yes, musky, animalic, cumin overdose in the beginning, but a well balanced act, a luxurious opulent fragrance that I think you should get your hands on. Do try before buying your fragrances. I hope this review has helped you, and I hope to bring in more reviews to you inshallah in the near future. Please stay tuned. Until next time, I'll see you inshallah soon.